And welcome to Beach Talk Radio. Kim Ryan.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
And Ed Ryan. We're
2.
here at the Shrimp Festival on this beautiful, beautiful day. Episode number
45. Number 45.
Good Lord. Just as old as I am, 45.
45, yeah. I don't hear any
give or
sound,
take.
Though. All right. Are we on? Are we on? Test 1, 2. Are we on? Can you hear us, Debbie? Can you hear us?
You do this all the time. Woo!
It's getting crazy down here. Welcome to Beach Talk Radio, episode number 45.
Live from downtown Fort Myers Beach at the Shrimp Festival, sitting in front of the wonderful Sea Gypsy.
Yes, let us explain what's going on here.
Honorary judge.
All right, here we are. We got everything set up perfectly now.
Oh, good Lord.
We're broadcasting live from the Sea Gypsy, episode number 45. Nothing ever works out perfectly.
No, this is like
take things on location, and you're in a new setup, but everything's working fine. We're good to go. We're broadcasting live from the Sea Gypsy because it's the 61st annual Shrimp Festival Parade,
woo!
Which is going to go on right behind us. You can see that the road is closed. It starts with a 5K run that is sponsored by, and I didn't know this until a couple minutes ago, by Yo Taco. And that'll be, you'll see probably a 14, 15, or 16-year-old kid just whiz by us, behind us. And
they come all the way down here?
Yeah, I think they do.
Well, you ran it.
Yeah,
a year or so.
Yeah, we come right around down here for the turnaround.
Okay.
And then at 10 o'clock the parade starts.
We've already had some floats go by getting assembled.
There's a couple of floats out there that there was a lot of work put into them.
I believe it. I mean, it's been going on for a long time. The Lions Club, this is their big event, as we had, discussed last week.
Right. Who did you have on last week? I've already forgotten who it was that explained what was going on with the parade. Was it Diane?
You're going to put me right on the spot.
I apologize for that.
Yes,
okay.
From the Lions Club. She's second generation. But her daughter is in it. They're third generation Lions, and her dad is the one that came up.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So here are just some of the folks that have floats in the parade. The police department, the American Legion. There's 42 floats. I'm not going to read them all.
I was going to say.
New Life Church, Beach Walk Party Posse. I think the Beach Walk Party Posse was the one that just came by us. What is the Beach Walk Party Posse? They were just standing on a float. They look like they were drinking already.
Well,
who does that?
I think that I don't know. Not me. Maybe you.
The Mustang Club. And Scott was saying there's 42 Mustangs also. Is that right, Scott? 42 Mustangs, at least.
Wow. Well, and we were behind. Well, we were on our way down to the beach, and we heard the alarms go off. The sheriff was behind us, and all came to Clydesdales, all loaded up.
How cool is that?
It was very cool.
The Clydesdales are also in the parade.
So Clydesdales and Mustangs, but not the same.
So does Santa end the parade?
Santa?
Yeah. Doesn't Santa end every parade? Isn't Santa in the final float?
I'm going to let you hang there because...
Is Santa in the final float?
Why would Santa be in the final float?
Because Santa's at the end of every parade, isn't he?
I don't know, but if you keep yelling like that, they'll be hearing you in Times Square.
I don't... So who's the Grand Marshal this year? It's somebody from the TV station, I think. One of the weather people from the TV station.
I don't know, but I'm interested to see the Queen. There's a Shrimp Festival Queen and all her all the princesses. We saw them last week.
Where's the Queen from?
I think from the beach this year, but I'm not sure.
Aren't they all from the beach? Don't you all?
No.
Oh.
No, they can be from. I think it has to be Lee County because one year, remember she was saying that one year, whoever the Queen was got stuck in bridge traffic, and the firemen had to go up and get her. So, if you haven't left by now, you're out. Yeah, you're done.
The bridge is closed,
right?
And you left the house at 7 o'clock. We live out by the airport, and you're still in traffic.
Lots of traffic, even that early.
I got here at 5. No traffic at all. Find a nice parking spot. Did a little run. Everything was organized.
Really, everything was organized?
Yeah.
Well, it just took you 10 minutes to get it set up.
Not that. I'm so picky.
Well, you've been here for hours.
The Fort Myers Beach Yacht Club has a float in the parade. Red Coconut. There's a yacht club down here?
Yeah. Duh.
Where's that?
It's where we come over.
Oh, okay. You sure about that?
No, it's where we went for that concert. I
Talkaway
believe.
Bagel, the Beach Baptist, the Fort Myers Beach Little League and PTO has a float, the Lonnie Kai, a Vicks Paint, Pelican Snowball. There's some businesses on here we got to make some sales calls on. I've never heard of them, so we need to keep the sheet for later on.
There's your call sheet.
All right, so we have Chad Lincoln coming on. Chad is one of our listeners from Michigan. He comes down once a year just for the Shrimp Festival. He's coming on at 9:30, and we're going to talk to him. He follows Fort Myers Beach like it's his own town, and he only comes down for like 5 days.
Yeah,
and he stays at the Silver Sands. They came over this morning. They have like 5 or 6 kids.
Wow.
I don't think they're all
He's
his.
very funny.
They're very friendly. They're all going to come down at the same time, and they're going to stand behind and cheer for him. So, and right now we're going to introduce our special guest. Donna is Kim's mommy. She's in town.
All the way in.
There she is. Look at her, everybody. She's got a hat
on.
She's got the shirt on. Grab the microphone. Grab the microphone. There you go. Make sure your microphone is on. Speak into the microphone.
Yes, dear.
Just like the old days. Now it's on. Go ahead.
I said yes, dear.
There you go.
So you came in last night at dark midnight 30, right?
Oh, yeah.
But you left. What did you leave?
I left snow.
Wow.
Snow.
It was snowing. They had to de-ice our plane. So I was really looking forward to coming down here and getting away from that.
You were looking forward to it, or you still are?
Well, she's here.
You're not nervous, are you? It's like the old days when we used to be on the radio back in Oneonta, New York.
Oh, God, let's not bring that up.
That was a long
the good old
time
days.
ago.
She's tried to wipe that from her memory.
So while you're here, you got pulled into being a judge for the floats. How cool is that? This is like
so exciting.
I
can't wait. I love parades anyway, so this is like the perfect scenario.
And the thing is, too, that your daughter didn't even want you to come down. I had to pressure her into letting you come down.
That is not. You're such a liar, dear.
I'm trying to make memories for this family, and look at what it's just turned into. Not only is your mom visiting on Shrimp Festival weekend, she's a judge.
I know.
Floats a parade.
Well, actually, the Shrimp Festival was kind of the impetus for me coming down here. So.
Well, sure.
Yeah. It wasn't really to see us.
Kind of,
secondary.
Well, we could leave you on the beach. I have no problem with that if not at the house later. All right. So
what we have to put up with.
I know.
I'll let you get back to your judging, but we might need some cameo appearances from you for the rest of the day. All right?
Maybe you could give us. No.
Loosen up a little. Loosen up. Don't look so nervous.
Well.
What?
Not used to this.
It's Beach Talk Radio. It's not like anybody's listening or
watching
watching or anything.
There is too. You've had a lot of people compared to when you first started. Look at you
right.
Look at how we've grown.
Yeah, the first couple of weeks that we were on, Scott and Jackie came down because Jackie had to be a guest twice because the first time the equipment didn't work, so she had to come back the next day. And she said, "Oh, why don't you come down to the Shrimp Festival in 6 months or whatever?" And we were like, "Okay, sure, we'll go down there." We had no idea if we'd even have a show by then, but sure, we'll go anywhere. Here we are.
Where's the fuzzy microphones that you had back then?
The hedgehog.
Oh yeah, it's a backup now. Now we got professional microphones, and we have cards to listen to.
Cards
to listen to, so they can tell you. They tell you where to listen, because the most frustrating thing that happens on the beach is when people say, "What frequency are you on?"
That's because you put radio, dear. I mean, that is not
it's
frustrating.
Not really.
It's a question that it makes complete sense.
It doesn't. Well, kind of makes sense. But the other thing is that most of the people that are asking are 60 and older. So when I try to explain to them you know how to download an app?
Yes.
Okay, what podcast apps do you have on your phone?
We're going to work on that.
Did you need to interrupt like that?
I do.
Where I was asking what podcast apps. Okay, so that's the point. If she had an AM radio app on her phone, she'd know exactly what it was. Static.
Who would want that?
Static. Yeah. All right, Donna, thank you. Now get back to your station. Appreciate it. That's longer than the opening we've ever had, dear. All right, we have a special guest ready to join us right now. And he was recently voted in with the most votes on Tuesday.
Congratulations.
Big hand, everybody.
Yay.
Big hand for Ray Murphy.
Good morning. Happy Shrimp Day, everybody.
Ray, how are you doing?
Good. Real good.
Awesome. So you are going to be sworn in when? When is the official swearing in ceremony?
Monday the 18th.
Monday. So is there a meeting Monday? Is that what happens? You get sworn in?
Yes, a week from this Monday, the 18th, yes.
So Tracy and Dennis, are they councilmen until the 18th and they kind of pass the gavel to you? Is that how it works?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So the first question I have, Ray, is when you started running, you were pretty confident. I have to say that you were more confident than I think any of the other candidates were. Why?
Well, you know, it's funny because I talked to Cheryl, and I'm not saying this bragging, but I told Cheryl a couple of nights beforehand just how this election would end up, and it ended up just the way I called it. I don't know. I have a feel for it. I have a feel for what's going on, what's happening. When I go out and talk to people, I can tell how the sentiment is going on the beach, and I just had a feeling.
What the hell are you wearing around your neck, man?
How you like that, huh?
Wow.
I got 5 pounds of shrimp around my neck.
No kidding. Those aren't real, right? I mean, because that would stink by now. But
no,
where'd you get them?
These are from New Orleans. I got a bead store down in New Orleans that I stop in every once in a while.
Will you wear them at the first council meeting?
Maybe.
Will you wear my hat for me?
I could do that.
Oh, that would be awesome if you wore the hat, because that would really
repping the Beach Talk
just
Radio.
till Tracy and Dennis walk out. That's all we care about. Yeah. So, what is the first order of business for you when you get in there? What do you really want to make your first issue?
Well, I mean, I campaign on the clean water, and that's really what I'm going to be all about. And I'm going to start looking for these different functions to go represent the town at, and I'm going to be bringing some people in to speak before the town council on a couple of different issues. And
oh, cool.
So that's really where I'll be right away. And of course, there'll be other business of the town that comes up constantly that we'll have to address. But that'll be my special focus is the water, which I ran on, which I said I was going to do, and that's really where my heart is.
Any sense of who's going to be the mayor?
No, I don't know. I mean, that's always a parlor game that everybody plays and everything. So I really don't, and so we'll just wait and see.
Is that something that you would like?
Yeah. Who wouldn't? I mean, it's an honor. It's an honor to be the mayor of the town. I've done it before. The mayor position is ceremonial on Fort Myers Beach, and you're just another council member. But what you do is you run the meetings, and I can run a good meeting.
Yeah.
I mean, I took over a council when I was on the original council. I took over meetings that were going on for 5 and 6 hours, and they went down to 2 hours. So
were you the mayor at the time?
I was I was running the meetings as the mayor.
Okay.
Yeah. So anyhow, it would be an honor, and we'll just see what happens.
I noticed the last 2 meetings, Tracy got them done right quick, because the first meeting, Dennis needed to get to one of the debates, and the second meeting, I don't know what the hell was going on with the second meeting, but you tried to ramrod that noise ordinance through that didn't go through. So
yeah, well,
what was your opinion on the noise ordinance? Do you think that needs to be changed, or is it fine the way it is?
You know what? They've been kicking around this noise ordinance ever since before we were a town.
Yeah.
So it keeps coming up. It keeps coming up. It's just like the short-term rentals. I mean, these are issues that never go away. Just like the traffic, something that never goes away. So, my opinion is just I'm not too interested in it, to tell you the truth. And
it's got to be something that's hard to
enforce. Yeah, it is hard to enforce. I mean, it's ridiculously hard to enforce, and people just have to be decent neighbors. That's what really it boils down to.
It sounded like I don't know if this is true, but my perception from watching the meetings was it almost sounded like one business was being a bad apple. Is that what it? That's.
I don't know the particulars of that. No.
All right. So you got the water. You got anything else that is going to be a top priority? What about the lawsuit?
Well, hopefully that'll be resolved shortly, and Tom and his crew, Tom Torgerson and his crew, can start moving ahead on the project. I mean, we're all waiting for that, and we all want that to get going, and that's gonna be a harbinger of better things to come here on the beach. So once he gets kicked off, there'll be a lot of good things to follow that. And and from what I gather, from what the limited knowledge I have of the lawsuits, they're moving ahead and getting closer to resolution every day.
One of the things that came up in the election that I was a little confused about was the money thing. You made it sound like when you left, the money was fine. Then Dennis made it sound like when he got in, we were in some kind of deficit. And then, what the heck? What happened? How did the budget go from in the black to in the red, or was it?
Well, I don't know that it was or not. I mean, a budget or a financial statement, depending on who's reading it, can make it look like 10 different things, you know. But I'm sure there were some problems with the money after the hurricanes, after Hurricane Charlie and so forth. I mean, I'm sure reserve monies were used and so forth. But to make it sound like it was such a dire condition
that they fixed,
I don't believe that. I mean, we wouldn't have been operating the way we were had that been the case.
Tell us again what your opinion is on whether or not you think Fort Myers Beach should look into its police force.
I'm not in favor of that.
Keep it with the sheriffs.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Just get better cooperation with the sheriff, and we'll be just fine.
So you came in first by a long shot. I mean, what was your final vote tally? 1,500?
No. It was 1,100, and I think it was 1,143. And I think I was about
double
200. Well, double who?
Oh, okay. You weren't. Okay, you weren't double Rexanne.
No, I was about 250 votes more than Rexanne, and I don't know how many more than Dan, but I was about triple Dennis Boback.
Well, what does that say about where the island has come from when Dennis and Tracy got elected on being opposed to TPI to where the change that happened on the fire district was like the first shot across the bow, it seemed, when Jackie got in, and it seemed like the old guard was being, you know, we've had enough kind of thing. And then what happened to Dennis was, I mean, even I was surprised that his vote count was so low.
Yeah. Well,
what does that say about what the island is telling you?
The island made a statement. The people on the beach made a statement, and that was that we want good, honest government. That's what we want. You know, we're not looking for saints down here, but we want people to act responsibly, act honorably, and act honestly. That's what they want. That's what they expect. And that's what they deserve. And they're going to have that. They're going to have that now. You know, so it's a whole new day. It's a whole new day, and here come the runners.
Right, already. It's only 18 after 9. They never start the race on time. I was in it last year.
Yeah.
And here comes the first runner for the 5K. And I'm guessing 15, 16. How old do you think he was? 16? He is flying, and no one is even close. No one is even
15
close.
is from Kenya.
No. Oh, the turnaround is right here, too. This is awesome because you're going to see a giant pack of runners come by.
A good spot here.
Yeah. Perfect. So the other question I had for you was, you dominated the South End, man, didn't you? That's
Murphy Country down there.
How did you make that happen, man? How did that become Murphy Country? What's the attraction to you down there?
Well, Ed, I'm down there for about 38 years. So
you live down there.
I've lived down there for about 38 years. Yeah. So
I only see Times Square and the Sea Gypsy. I don't even know there's existence down there.
Well, I know a lot of people throughout the island, of course, but that's really my neck of the woods down there.
Glenn! Hey, Glenn! You can't hear us. Glenn Button just ran by. He's like in 5th place. That's unacceptable. He's in 5th place. Nice. Very nice. So back to the South End. Tell us how you got so Dan was telling me this morning, he stopped by. He said that he was talking to somebody knocking on doors. And he said, no, we vote for Ray. We're voting for Ray. I was like, well, you got to vote for 2.
Right.
So,
well, you know, I was telling a lot of people they couldn't go wrong with either Dan or Rexanne, but you know, that's Murphy Country down there. I mean, I've lived down there for, as I say, for a long time. I'm a member of the Ascension Parish down there. I mean, I've always said that if I can get the people in Bay Beach behind me and the people in my church behind me, the rest is gravy, and that's what happened.
Yeah,
you know, that's what happened. So I owe it to my neighbors down in.
So
in
the Bay Beach thing, can you kind of get me in there? Come on. So next year, that when you guys have the debate, that they let us in the doors instead of being
closed.
That's
up to them. You know,
You might be the
All
mayor,
these-
man. You got some sway. So,
Well, let's see what happens.
do you think that the businesses are going to feel like they're less targeted now?
Well, I hope so. I mean, I don't have any axe to grind with any of the businesses, and I've always been pro-business, of course. And why wouldn't I? Why wouldn't I support the businesses on our beach? I mean, if the businesses do well, we all do well. So, I mean, if I was the mayor or councilman up in Detroit, I'd be for the car industry. If I was the mayor of Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, I'd be promoting the steel. If you're the mayor or councilman on Fort Myers Beach, you promote tourism. That's our industry, and you get behind businesses, and we want everybody to be successful.
Speaking of Detroit, they're the subject of a podcast called Crime Town. Mayor Kwame Kilpatrick, who's spending many years in jail in Detroit, was the subject of that podcast. It's awesome listen because it's great storytelling about the politics. And I'm not saying anything is related to Fort Myers Beach, obviously, but to listen to what can go on in politics in the back rooms and the bribery and the stuff like that when it's told like that is amazing. That when somebody puts a trust in somebody that's voted, that they can actually take advantage of people that way. You would think that it could never happen, but it does.
Well, I mean, that's anytime there's humans involved, anything can happen. Anything's possible. But we don't really have that problem here, and
for sure.
Thank God. But there are other places around here have had scandals of that nature over the years, and fortunately, we've been blessed in that regard.
So there's been a bunch of controversy. I know what I want to ask you. Do you think the whale picture and situation really damaged them, or not?
I don't know. My own opinion is that was probably neutral. It was probably neutral. I don't think that the people already know what happened. And it was of such a grave nature that they weren't forgetting. So they didn't really have to be reminded by that, although they were reminded. But I don't think it was necessary. But who am I to say? I mean, people are within their rights to do those sort of things. Whether or not I agree with it doesn't really matter. But
so you're talking about something different. You're talking about the flyers,
the mailers. Is that what you're talking about?
Well, I was talking about the whale incident with the picture.
Oh,
when Tracy and Dennis got caught.
That.
I was wondering if you thought that damaged his chance.
Oh, no doubt. I mean, that was the scene of the crime, so to speak. So I mean, that had to have hurt him.
I think that's where the trust of some of the voters might have certainly fluctuated. Like, you felt like they were saying things that, man, you're making me, the voter, feel like a boob for.
Well, that's right. And you know what? I've said this to many people, and I haven't said it to Dennis or Tracy because I haven't had an opportunity. But we're a pretty forgiving bunch down here on the beach. And I mean, no one's perfect. Everybody makes mistakes. But let me tell you, when you make a mistake, you have to admit you made a mistake. You have to apologize for making a mistake. You have to ask forgiveness for making a mistake and ask to move on. Had they done that, done that early on, now I don't know whether they would have been totally forgiven for what they did or not. It was a pretty bad transgression. But had they made that effort, at least they would have been able to preserve their legacy for what they've done. Now, without doing that, without admitting that they did something wrong, everything that they've done over their tenure is out the window. They'll be forever remembered for what they did. Instead of, they could have nipped it in the bud, but they chose not to, and that is arrogance. There
was definitely enough time between the day that happened at the election where, you're right. If you say, listen, I probably should have walked away and I didn't. Instead, they just doubled down on it, and you called them on it in the church debate. You said you just walk away. That's a quote I'll never forget because you were right out there, laying it right out there.
Well, I mean, it's just human nature, but they were caught red-handed. I mean, if it was something that was debatable and we denied it or something else, well, okay, nobody saw it, blah, blah, blah. They were caught red-handed, for God's sakes. I mean, there was no question. So, but anyhow, that's all ancient history now. We're moving forward.
That's right. And the 61st annual Shrimp Festival, man, what an event we have going on right behind us. How cool is this?
This is probably my 37th year in a row coming to this Shrimp Festival. It's something we look forward to every year on the beach. It's the start of what I call the high holy days on Fort Myers Beach.
What does that mean?
Well, we got Shrimpfest this weekend, and then we roll right into next weekend with the St. Patrick's Day Parade.
That's your parade.
Which I run, yeah.
How does that work? Who's involved in that? No.
Well, that's a lot of the same people that are in this parade will be down there, and then there's a lot of other different ones down there. There's neighborhood groups, so forth. It's a really fun parade, and this is our 21st year. This is 61 years here.
Wow.
So there's 40 years difference between. So we'll see. I don't know if I can get up to 61 with this parade or not, but we'll see.
Is it a fundraiser also, or is it a fun day?
It's a fun day. Yeah. It's a fun day. Yeah.
It starts where and ends where?
It starts at Santini Plaza and marches north on the boulevard up to the Church of the Ascension.
So you're happy the election's over, and now you get a chance to relax and get focused on the things that are important to the beach.
Yeah, it's that's always the case with these elections. It's a lot. It's intense for a little bit, and then but when it's over, and it's time to get to work, and that's what we'll be doing.
So I know you guys are not sworn in yet. So the little celebration you had last night must have been nice to be able to debrief each other and hang out with Anita. And I'm just a little pissed off that I wasn't invited to that shindig.
I don't know. I'm not on the list, Ed. I don't know. I don't make out. Let's talk some more about the Shrimp Fest.
Yeah, sitting on the fence, man. You're getting good at that.
I want to tell you about the Shrimp Festival. The founding family of the Fort Myers Beach shrimp industry is from your neck of the woods up on Long Island. I don't know if you knew that or not.
I did not.
The Kiesel family came down here from Long Island, New York. They were clammers up on Long Island, and they came down here in the early 50s, and they were the first one of the first ones here on Fort Myers Beach to get this shrimping fleet up and running. And they've been here ever since. The family, Scoop Kiesel, God rest his soul, died a few years back. He's been gone for probably 5 years or so now. And but his son, Scoop Jr., well, Scoop was a longtime fire commissioner here on the beach and also chairman for several years. Then his son, Scoop Jr., ran for a seat on the first council when I ran the first time around.
Wow.
So the Kiesel family has a long history here on Fort Myers Beach, and they're a great family. But they were the early ones. They were a guy was up in Northeast Florida, a shrimper, and he took his boat down the East Coast. Wasn't much going on. He took his boat down the East Coast, and he had some troubles down in near Key West in the Dry Tortugas. So he had to repair his nets, and he dropped his nets down, and he happened to drag them one evening to get them back up, and he noticed that the nets were loaded with shrimp. So discovered that the time to fish for shrimp is at nighttime. So when the Kiesel family came down here and found that out, man, they're out there. They started shrimping, and the rest is history.
Wow, that's a great story.
That's a great tradition here on the beach.
Is there any members of the family that still live on the beach?
Oh yeah. There's Kiesels around. There were several Kiesel brothers that came down from Long Island with their wives and girlfriends at the time, and of course those families down here settled, all the brothers, and so there's lots of Kiesel descendants around, and but they're still around.
Sounds like a show. History show.
You'd want to talk to them on a shrimp festival. They could give you the whole story.
That would be great.
Bob Kiesel, one of the other sons, was big in the shrimp industry.
Awesome. So I did have one other question. We have a fire engine coming down, which this is how are they going to get through there? It's going to be interesting.
Well, they're going to have to get those people out of the way.
Yeah.
Something must have happened.
Yeah. Well, you got to have people safe. That's the most important thing. Got to get the runners off to the side and get the fire truck through. The thing is that with the parade going on, the runners are probably thinking, what the hell? The parade starting before the – all right.
Yeah, there must have been something happen.
Yep. Unfortunate. Well, speaking of the fire department, Chief Love was recognized this past week. I noticed that he was named the chief of the county, or the #1 chief in the county. Did
Is
you
that
see
right?
That?
Yeah, I saw something in the paper. I didn't read the article yet, but I'll take a look at that. That's great.
He's doing a great job. He's only 13 years old, and he's the chief of
13 years
fire.
old.
He just looks so young to us.
He is a young-looking guy. Yeah.
All right, Ray.
Nice
Anything else you want to say about what's coming up? What the people should know about your next X years?
Well, I want to thank everybody that for their support during the election campaign and so forth. And it is my solemn pledge to everyone on the beach, not just the people that voted for me, but to everyone, that you're going to have some good good government coming up here. We've got a great bunch to work together, and I'm really looking forward to great things ahead for Fort Myers Beach.
Awesome. And listen, Ray, we appreciate you coming on after the election, just like you did before. That means a lot to us.
That's
we really
anytime,
appreciate it.
you know that. Anytime.
Thanks a lot. Ray Murphy, everybody. Hey. Live studio audience on Fort Myers Beach.
The crowd goes wild.
The crowd goes wild. The fire engines are blaring.
Wow.
What's going on back there?
Apparently, there's an emergency down the beach.
Wow. Somebody, hopefully somebody
serious.
doesn't get hurt. Man, you're in the middle of a 5K and you got to break
Yeah,
way for. Hey, people got to be safe though, right? I mean, that's.
Yeah, I mean, I hope whoever it is, they're okay. I hope it's not one of the runners.
Right.
Jeez.
We caught it live on tape. Ray was great. He's always great. He's always open and honest.
Consummate.
Yeah.
Yes.
We appreciate him coming on after he wins the election. You know, sometimes people come on before the election and they win or lose and you never see from them again or hear from them again. And that's not the case with Ray. You know, it's interesting that he said he'd like to be the mayor too. So it's going to be a backroom cigar smoking deal to see who's going to be the mayor.
I don't think Anita smokes cigars.
Anita had people over last night to celebrate. Now that's not a violation of the Sunshine Law yet because they're not sworn in, but I think that was I would vote for Anita right now because it's her last year.
Boy, he's not even out of this seat. Is not even cold, and you're already.
Listen, Ray's got 2 years, so Anita's got 1 year left, and she can't. She can run again after she takes some time off. But I mean, I would like to see her be the mayor because she's
finish out her year.
Yeah, she's one of the longest-serving council members, and it would be an awesome way to go out. And, you know, when you're the mayor, you're not going to be disrespected by some 15-year-old mayor that's sitting 2 seats away from you. I know she doesn't like me to make it sound like that, but times are changing down here, dear.
Yeah.
Now unfortunately, we have a council that probably won't provide us with a lot of good stuff. Like you're not going to catch Ray and somebody else, you know, cavorting in the blue whale.
We'll have to dig elsewhere for the dirt. On the gritty streets.
The best part for the show would have been if Dennis was elected again. I mean, because you know you're always going to get. I mean, he hit a biker the other day, so you know you're always going to get some shebanger with Dennis on the board. Why did you can't participate in that? Right? You just refuse to stoop to my level.
I'm going to stay
I call
above
him Dennis.
the fray.
I don't call him Bobarino anymore. I call him Dennis.
Let it go, dear. Let it go.
So your next guest is going to be Chad Lincoln. Chad's going to sit in my chair. Come on, Chad Lincoln. All right. All right. Have a seat. Chad is down here visiting. Hey, we got extra microphones. Have a seat. Chad Lincoln, dear, take over.
We've got, well, welcome finally to the show. There you go.
Glad to be here. Got Dave from Philadelphia, Aaron from Philadelphia.
Dave and Aaron from Philadelphia.
Sean from Grand Rapids, Michigan.
Sean from Grand Rapids. I don't know why I'm echoing you. It's like
I don't know.
I think you got it. You take away the show.
I think Ed should go to the store and get some more equipment.
I know. He loves to spend my money, as you know. As you know. Yeah, I would like to keep it, but he's got to spend it. So you're down here. When did you get into town?
Thursday.
Everybody at the same time? Thursday, Sunday. Nice. And where are you guys staying and hanging out?
Silver Sands.
Nice. It's nice down there. They got a little courtyard and
community cooler full of beer. So
a community cooler. How do you get in that community?
Well, you just open the lid and dump a box in.
Yeah. So how long are you? What's that? You all share. It's a sharing community.
Well, down there, it's like the same group of us for 5 or 6 years the same week. So
do you rent out? You guys rent out the whole place then?
Close. 22.
Wow. Now it's just.
No, we love Fort Myers.
That is awesome. Well, hey, we can always do some more residents. We'll make room.
Yeah.
We'll make room. Everybody's showing up down here for the Shrimp Festival. And how long are you guys down for?
Just till Tuesday.
Just till Tuesday. So that's a short little trip.
Yeah.
And so tell us, what do you do back home?
I own a little insurance agency in Lakeview, Michigan, just north of Grand Rapids.
Insurance. What kind of insurance do you sell?
What kind do you want to buy?
Well, you know, health insurance is always, I mean, right now I have health insurance, but
I quit that game.
Well, and why would that be?
Well, the certifications and so forth, and the laws changing, I didn't want to keep up on it.
I don't blame you. I not only, yeah, it's a racket. So, are you down here? Who else? That's not just these guys. Who else do you have? Who else came down with you?
My wife and his wife, and we've each got 2 kids with us.
My
sister and her husband, and they have a kid down here.
And then your grandparents live around
Yeah,
here.
my grandparents live here, and my parents are down here someplace.
So you have a big contingent. Now, what are you doing besides this today? Besides that today.
They can't see the visuals. But they'll-
Yeah,
That's
bad
right.
stuff.
Bad stuff. Are you planning on going to the beach at all, or you just?
We were at the beach before sunup this morning.
Yeah, but that was because the night before you slept down there.
No, we take the kids out treasure hunting.
And what'd you find?
Some sunglasses, 1 cowboy boot.
Did you see any sea turtles?
No.
Because you got to be careful with those nests.
Yeah, no straws. Sorry, Ed.
Jeez Louise. Yeah, he's crazy with that.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry. What
No
did
straws. A lot of plastic bottles and cups. I'm surprised people can't make that stuff to the trash can.
Well, who knows under what conditions they were operating. I mean, as long as they weren't sleeping there, it might have
We
been good.
operate in some nefarious conditions, but always find the trash can.
So, Chad, I have a question for you.
Yes, sir.
Of course.
You live in Michigan,
Yeah.
but you're constantly following what's going on here in Fort Myers Beach. Why?
I want to live here. Sorry.
He's going to shove that right down your throat in a minute.
I thought you had a more manly voice. Speak up, sir.
Sorry, sir. No, I like it here. Been coming here for a lot of years.
What about the politics attracts you to watch the council meetings?
I don't know. Maybe the future to see what might become, down the road when I have a chance to spend more time here.
Now, is that more exciting than the selling insurance? It must provide
Yes.
you.
Yes. Yes.
I laid
short
that
answer.
right out there for
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. Is this CNN?
I feel collusion coming on.
How much- So you found out he sells insurance?
Yes.
Yeah.
How much you make a year?
Too much.
So you're going to be able to afford a nice house on the beach?
Oh, I kind of want to just have a little hut, like one of these cottages on stilts.
Yeah.
A
When do
little
you
what?
Maybe I'll buy Sea Gypsy. Who knows?
when do you think you'll be down here as a regular?
Well, you're a regular, basically. Every
Yeah.
summer.
I'm a regular.
Chad, when we talk on the phone and we talk on the Facebook and we talk on the
I know what's
texting,
coming.
you don't seem nervous at all, but you look pretty damn nervous right now. It's just a freaking internet
Yeah.
show that nobody's watching.
Yeah, but what? Actually, speaking of, we were just talking. It's like we're going down there, and 3 of the 5 Facebook watchers are going to be there.
We're at 9 right now, so how dare you insult us like that?
Well, it's all the back.
The other 6 are
Yes.
back at the tiki.
Oh,
Yes.
we're watching at the Tiki Hut.
Have you been putting on sunscreen? Because
No.
I'm going to say you look a little lobstery red.
Oh, wait, dear. He brought his kids this morning. They were totally toasted. The kids were all sunburned. They had white eyes and the faces were red. So he must have took them out yesterday without the wife.
No, what I like to do is spray the sunscreen up and then kind of walk towards
Nice, like a sunscreen shower.
get it a little bit
nice,
on me.
Get in
nice,
front of
very
the-
nice.
That's right. Good one. Good one.
it. I don't-
Oh.
Yeah.
That is
Gotta
not.
pay to come down here.
So
and
tell-
take
tell-
some home.
Tell us about the Silver Sands. If you don't put that microphone close to your face, man, come on. I gave you the best microphone. Now get it nice and close. We're on the Florida Podcast Network for
Oh, yeah.
crying out loud.
True.
That's what you need.
Yeah.
You
What?
need one that's shaped like a beer bottle.
No kidding.
Yeah.
I wonder if we got Beach Talk Radio koozies if they would
There you go.
Look at that.
There you go.
Yeah, our
Don't
3
have 'em.
listeners, would
yeah.
have them.
Yeah.
So why do you? So seriously though, on a serious note,
Yeah.
why do you listen to the show or watch it or whatever the hell you do up there?
Because we all potentially want to live here.
But
Great
your
idea.
show
That's a great
specifically?
selling point.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't actually know how I stumbled across your
No
show.
kidding. No kidding.
I don't know. But and
That's
I'm-
an interesting question because he was down here. He lives in Michigan, so it'd be
Through Facebook.
Facebook. Yeah,
Yeah.
that seems to be the way.
but I don't know how
Ubiquitous.
though.
Yeah.
Are you on Instagram too?
Yes.
Yeah. I have 3 photos on there.
Nice, nice.
Wow.
I'm still trying to learn how to use
know.
Instagram.
I think I have 5.
I think I did the Instagram this morning. I threw a picture out there, a video out there.
But
So
Facebook works for all of us.
yeah, because we're old. Yeah, Facebook's for the old people,
Yeah.
right?
You're
The
still
Facebook?
on MySpace.
Yeah, yeah.
The MySpace book.
Yeah, the MySpace book.
So you guys, tell us about the Silver Sands. I know you guys love that. You've been coming down here.
Well, there's a community cooler there.
What is
Yeah.
that? Oh, really?
Actually, we
Yeah.
just filled it and iced it. So
It might be empty.
come on down.
Back.
With Miller?
Miller Lite, Yingling,
Oh, we get the real
What else
stuff
is
at
there?
Pizza Time Out.
Heineken
the
Light.
Heinekens.
Oh, okay, yeah.
We've got a guy stationed under the Tiki Hut mixing Bloody Marys. He's got like 7 gallons of vodka.
That's where my mom's headed down.
How many rooms do you guys take over when you come down?
With friends of ours, probably 15.
15 rooms.
15
Yeah.
of the
Wow.
22.
And then we see them every year.
Do you guys drive a big RV down?
And we fly.
Oh, you fly. You take one,
What?
fill the whole
Yeah.
plane.
Yeah.
You drove?
No,
So
Southwest,
you're
nonstop.
you're a biker, right? You
Yeah.
like to bike.
Yeah.
You didn't bring your bike, but what was the last race you ran? You rode.
The Iceman Challenge.
Tell us about that. That sounded crazy.
It's a 30-mile from Kalkaska, Michigan to Traverse City, all single track through the woods. There is no road.
What time of the year?
November, first Saturday of November.
So that's cold.
It was decent this year.
Wasn't snow or ice on the trails or anything like
Nope.
that.
No,
What was your time? 30 miles on the road on the mountain bike
bike.
takes you how long?
that took me a little over 3 hours.
3 hours. What did you feel like after you rode 30 miles on the
Like I wanted a beer.
right? Did they have free beer at the end of the race?
They had not free, but Bell's Brewing puts on the race
Nice.
out of Kalamazoo, so they had like 9 beer tents set up. So we hydrated heavily.
We're never doing anything crazy like that.
Come up.
Races.
Come on.
Yeah, we haven't done anything in a long. Just watching them run today, I was.
My problem was
Wishing.
having never been on the course. I had the clip-on shoes, on the
Oh.
mountain
Oh
bike.
my gosh, really?
And
That no.
no, yeah,
How many
never
times?
again.
No.
How many
again.
times you eat dirt?
3.
Wow. And then you got to unclip while you're laying on the dirt, and then you
Yeah.
got to figure out how to make sure you don't get run over by the guy coming behind
Well,
you.
I saw a guy down in a ravine, and the ambulance was there hauling him up on a stretcher. So I unclipped the rest of the way.
For sure.
Clip in shoes, not clipped
Oh.
in, not
you can't
efficient.
ride. No, you can't ride that way.
That was bad.
I had clip-in shoes for a week. I was testing them out, and I fell in the middle of Tree Line and Daniels waiting for the red light. So I was stopped and forgot to unclip. So when you stop, and all the cars at all the red lights are stopped, and you just go like this, whee, you fall down. It's just embarrassing. Nothing hurts. And everybody's looking out the window yelling, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" I'm like, I just fell. It's not like I crashed. Yeah,
When the pedals and the shoes come in the mail, there's no instruction that says unhook
practice.
before you stop.
Right, or practice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I fell 5 times with clip-ons before I sent it back.
I'm gonna.
Yeah, let's
abstain
not
from
talk
that
to you about
conversation.
crashing.
No.
Stay in your lane.
Yeah, she's
The old lady
we
hip
sold her
fracture.
bikes. So what do you guys plan to do? You're going to go over to the Shrimp Festival parking lot and buy some?
You gonna
Yeah.
have some shrimp dinner? You gonna buy? Oh, it's so yummy.
So when you guys bring how many total people you think you have down here?
Kids?
Yeah, with kids and
40?
See,
40.
we had 11
Wow.
on the plane when we landed Thursday. We brought 11.
40 people.
Yeah.
What do you take a guess at how much money you're spending in this economy in the 5 days you're here?
Well, he pre-orders his beer.
Yeah.
Wait a
Yeah.
second. How do you pre-order beer?
Heineken Light, so he's got to
no one carries cans of this crap.
Oh, okay.
So I
Cans.
get it from
Gotcha.
Nick's liquor store.
Oh, all right.
Nick's over there.
Pre-order.
So I call down and say, Nick, I need, Nick, I need 10 cases of beer.
So he
There
brings
you
them
go.
over to the Silver Sands.
No, he picks it up on the way back
Nice.
from the airport.
Wow. We got a whole routine going.
Yeah,
So give us a rough idea what you think the group will spend at the end of the 5 days. On alcohol alone, I think you're probably the economy's going up
Yeah, I mean-
5% this week.
Yeah, the town of Fort Myers Beach will send a thank you note. pretty
No
soon.
kidding. Do they comp you a free room every once in a
No,
while?
no.
What does a room cost per night over there during the Shrimp Festival?
High season probably averages 250.
250 times 5 nights. Well, you guys are maybe able to average it out with all the bodies you have in there, right? I mean, you
Well,
ask the
Well, the
kids, you
kids
ask the
aren't
kids to
paying.
throw in their allowance. I mean, come on.
No,
How much money do you make, man? Jesus Christmas.
not radio money.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah, I
right.
should hope not.
Which is why we're driving all the way back to our
Right.
shoebox.
We probably spend 300 a day, easily.
Yeah.
A day.
300 a day.
That's not housing.
Just you two.
Yeah, just us two.
But what we discovered is Publix will deliver your groceries.
What?
Oh, well, some of
Well,
us
you didn't
had
share that.
discovered that.
Yep.
I
Yes.
went there yesterday.
Yeah, you just download the app on your phone.
Publix will
Lady showed
deliver
up
your
with everything.
groceries?
We had 3 families order
Spent 3
groceries.
hours going this way and back.
How much does it cost for Publix to deliver groceries?
I don't know.
It's
Yeah,
someone
he's
else
got
was doing
stupid
it.
money over there. He doesn't even know how much it costs.
I don't know if it's a flat fee or a
See,
percentage.
I'm in charge of handling the fun stuff at our house,
Okay.
and my wife
Like
handles.
taking the kids out to get sunburned. That's the fun
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
Gotcha. Awesome.
She's in charge of the lotion after.
How old are you, Chad?
39.
39. And how
Wow.
long have you owned an insurance company?
I've owned it 3 years. Been in the business 20 years.
So do you sell health and life and home and auto?
This is
and,
what you come in late
Yeah.
after I've already
He
asked
missed
this
it.
I had to go to the
question.
bathroom.
He doesn't sell health
always go to the
insurance.
bathroom.
Well, I
It's a
know.
pain
When
in
you're
the
my
neck.
age, you go a lot. So
Yeah, I quit the health business.
you sell it all. You
Yeah.
sell it all.
So I
So
have
what
a
is?
question for you guys.
Yeah,
If we own
you need
two
to
barbershops-
ask us into.
If we own 2 barbershops where
Sorry.
we live in Pennsylvania,
Yeah.
and he wanted to come down and open one, how hard is it?
On the beach?
Yeah.
You're asking the wrong person.
But
we should ask Ray.
We can hook you
Yeah.
up. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, Ray would know. Scott would know too. Scott's on the LPA. He would know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We could
Well, you guys
certainly
got
get
bags
hooked
and
up.
bags of money. Just drop them off at Ray's porch on Ray's porch, and you'll be open the next day, man. Money talks down here. That's for sure.
What are you alleging?
I'm not alleging anything. Money talks. That's what I'm saying. Or drop a bag off to Roger. Right?
Yeah.
Awesome. So you're 39. You owned it for 3 years. You making a mill?
No. A little bit shy.
All right, cool. So you're going to sell it for, let's see, you're going to sell it for, I'm guessing, you probably could sell for, if it's almost bringing in $1 million, probably, what are you pricing it at, $3 million?
So you're
Good
saying you're
Lord.
interested?
No, I'm just saying, I'm just wondering, you're coming down probably $3 million cash. You're going to have a nice house on the beach, man. We'll have to do a show from his cabana.
I
Nice.
actually prefer the Back Bay if I was going to have a house on the water.
Really?
There you
Yeah.
go.
Why?
It's kind of like the nature aspect of it.
Yeah.
Have a boat, whatnot.
Very nice.
No, it's nice
Very
back
nice.
there.
Yeah.
Anywhere.
Houses are expensive. on
Tom
the
T
beach,
lives back there.
Nice. Oh, you want to hang out with that crew?
Yeah.
I get you. We're not there. We're not. The closest we're getting to that is a yoga class in their garage.
Well, I might be able to get. I got to do a yoga class there, and I can get there now by paddleboard. I'll just
Really?
come across.
Without breaking your face or anything.
No. I'm safe on a paddleboard unless there's a shark, which there's no sharks down here.
There's no
Probably
sharks down
safe
here?
from sharks.
Yeah.
Although there was a bad boating accident last night
Yeah,
out
it was
here.
We
crazy.
heard
Her
about
girl
that.
died last night. Yeah. Well, you brought the show down, Chad. We're always going to try and avoid that, but thank you very
The
much.
parade is starting very
Yeah.
soon, and there'll be
Oh.
lots of jocularity when that starts.
Yeah.
There will be.
Who
But
are you
yeah,
voting for in the parade?
who am I voting for?
Yeah, there's voting
There's
and
42
judging.
floats, man. You don't
I
have a
do-
scorecard at your house?
No. I
They
might
need
not
an extra judge, actually.
see, but back at the ranch, somebody needs to guard the cooler, so that might be my chore when I
Gotcha.
get back.
Gotcha.
We might have to stop by the
Guard
Silver
the,
Sands.
guard the cooler
Guard the
or empty the cooler.
You know,
Whatever it takes. All right, Chad Lincoln, everybody.
Thank you so much
Big
for
hand
coming
for
down.
Chad and this whole family coming
thanks for the
down.
gear.
Yeah, anytime, man. We appreciate you and your 4 friends up there making our Facebook numbers look like they're something. We'll get back to the room, man, because they're dropping down now.
Come
Flip
by.
on your phones or something on the way back. All right, Chad, thanks very much.
All right,
Awesome.
thank you so much. Yeah, we'll have to stop by and have some of that community
Yeah, the
beer.
from the community cooler.
Did you get it?
Yeah. So that was awesome. Chad's a good guy. He's got lots of money. We got to hang out with him more, dear.
Yes,
You need to
yes.
hang out with
I
the
have
money.
To go. Now they want to buy T-shirts and hats
Where?
from us. You doofus.
Oh, they do?
Yeah.
So what am I going to do? Who am I going to talk
Well,
to?
you're gonna have to.
Well, I could. I want to tell everybody about yesterday. Where's Keran? If you find Keran, send him over because I want to talk. I want to have him on, and we're actually waiting for the parade to start, folks. It's 10 minutes away. The parade starts at 10 o'clock, and it's we're live on Fort Myers Beach. You can probably say, "Hey, there's no traffic on the beach. What's going on? What's wrong?" There's always traffic on the beach. Well, the beach is closed. Traffic is closed for the parade. It's going to start in about 10 minutes. 42 floats. 42 Mustangs in the parade, and the voters, the judges, are right outside the Sea Gypsy is where we are. We want to thank Scott and Jackie for inviting us down to the Sea Gypsy to to have our show down here. We also want to thank John and Debbie, who own us. And we usually do our show from Table 23 at Pete's Timeout. And we'll be back to Table 23 next week. Our guest is going to be, so far, Kevin Ruane is going to be our first guest. Oh, thank you for the water. Appreciate it. Kevin Ruane is going to be our first guest. And we also think that we might have Joe Orlandini on next Saturday from Table 23. And what's up, boss? Thanks for coming on. Doing great.
How we doing?
Love the shirt. Love the shirt.
There we go.
Bush Reagan 84.
There we go. Oh, look at that. It's on there.
Yeah.
Right.
So what was going on with the fire engines? I mean, that kind of threw the runners off a little bit. I mean,
it did, because a couple of them thought they were actually getting escorted down the road.
I know.
Folks, you got to move.
That's the first thing, and that's one of the reasons why in a lot of the races they tell you not to run with headphones on, because of something like that can happen, and it did. And I'm sure the runners are thinking, hey, what they're starting the parade already. The run's not even over.
Look at that. Isn't that neat how we're being escorted down the road? No, I don't know where they stopped. I had bets on a certain hotel and resort down the way.
It looked like they turned around right quick, though, when they were out of there. So it didn't last long, but it really –
guesses.
I mean, a race like that lasts an hour. It's unfortunate that something like that had to happen.
Yeah, yeah.
So what's going on with you? What have you been up to?
Not much. Hanging loose, being good. How about you? I know you're
loving
hanging
the
out
show.
At empty gyms.
Yeah. We got to around-the-clock fitness at 4 o'clock this morning because we knew we had to beat the traffic today and get down here in time because it gets crazy.
How many? You beat the traffic. You beat everybody else too because the place was empty.
How many shrimp festivals have you been coming to?
This would be my third, except this is the first one I've been to because the last couple of years I've been teaching motorcycling.
Teaching motorcycling.
Teach people how to ride motorcycles.
Wow, I didn't know that was one of your many traits.
Yeah.
Where do you teach motorcycles?
Where does one begin? I teach up at Black Widow Harley Davidson in Port Charlotte.
No kidding. Yeah, maybe there's a podcast on that for you.
There could be. I don't know. I'd probably combine with other Motorcycle Safety Foundation rider coaches.
Nice.
Talk about riding. And
I have an idea.
Feels like Breakfast Club now. You're with physics, principles of physics,
right?
That kind of thing. But yeah.
Well, let me ask you a question.
Yep.
Why do motorcyclists choose mostly to not wear a helmet?
I think they have. I mean, the great thing about riding motorcycles, for the most part, is that you can do what you want to do. You can ride the way you want it, and people talk about the freedom of riding. And there is a lot of freedom about it because there are a lot of motorcycles out there that don't have the radios and the stereos, and so you can kind of get lost in your own head. And you ride along, and life is grand, and you're looking at the scenery and stuff. And nobody can tell you what to do on your motorcycle. There's no seat belts. And it doesn't feel like you're going that fast. However, I see people riding mopeds along here, and if they hit the ground,
they're dead.
It's all over.
Splatter.
So I always tell when I have classes and students ask, well, how about the helmet thing? I said, well, I figure you stand a lot better chance of surviving a crash if your brains are on the inside of your head.
Mm-hmm.
And people are like, well, that's kind of graphic. I'm like, well, it's also
so you're
true.
saying that people that ride without helmets figure if they're going to crash, probably the helmet's not going to save them? Is that part of the thought process?
The thought process. And a lot of people are like, well, I'm probably dead anyway, so why put a helmet on? I'm like,
let me enjoy the freedom in the air and the music and the whole thing. And well, even riding a bicycle, I see people that ride from one end of the beach to the other without helmets on, and I just think it's crazy because you don't even need to be going fast to hit your head the wrong way. No. And even if you fall on a bike at a slow speed, the helmet could save you from some serious head damage.
I mean, and I hate to be morbid about things. People are like, oh, that's gross. But the fact of the matter is that, bone versus concrete always wins.
Yeah. Yeah.
So why not hedge your bets and be safe?
Right.
And when I ride my bicycle or motorcycle, I wear a helmet. And it's probably not sexy, but you know what? If I land the wrong way, I stand a better chance of living. And that's all it's about.
So do you think they're going to do a do-over for that 5K? I mean, you think a lot of those people are running this race.
Is there room controversy?
I don't know, but I've never seen that happen before. And all the races I've been
Twitter updates. The 5K beach run.
I think they might need to do a do-over tomorrow or something like that because, you could turn around. You saw the people freaking out because they didn't know, especially if you have headphones on, you're not knowing what's going on.
No, and frankly, by the time that the ambulance and the fire truck showed up, the people who were winning the race were long gone.
Yeah, that's true. So, that kid that was booking, He was probably already on his first beer by the time the fire truck came. Well, at 16, he probably shouldn't be having a beer or anything like that. But
how you been?
Everything's been great. Everything's been great.
Podcasting business
Oh
going?
man, yesterday, the last 2 days, I spent with podcasters in Orlando, and it's just watching the younger people and even some people that are my age get involved in podcasting and figuring out how to make money at it and just doing what they love to do. And that's, everybody's got a hobby or everybody's got something that they love to talk about or love to do.
Yeah.
And to listen to them, to be able to sit in front of a microphone and talk about it for 30 minutes or 60 minutes without, this is easy for me because I'm interviewing somebody, so I don't have to speak for 60 minutes. I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
And for them to be able to do it, I met a guy yesterday who launched a podcast called Catholic Sports Radio. And what his unique angle is, he's got a background in sports and he's very much into the Catholic Church.
Okay.
So he finds athletes, amateur athletes or pro athletes that are so into religion. And, you hear it all the time on TV about how everybody, a lot of them thank God and that means so much to them. I'm saying it because it's clear that it doesn't
Catholic
mean enough
Sports
to me.
Radio.
And so he interviewed, the first person that he interviewed, which I listened to this morning when I was running, was this kid scored the game-winning goal for the Minnesota team, and obviously hockey's big up there in the Frozen Four. He scored the overtime goal to win the championship, and all he cared about was talking more about God than he did about, for somebody in sports, scoring that goal would be the highlight of their life.
Yeah.
He moved it down to like 7 or 8 because he's got so many other priorities in their life. You know how sports,
that's refreshing, actually.
Yeah. Sports means so much to so many people. It becomes their priority. And
too much to a lot of people, actually. Yeah.
And so he found this guy. He found a unique angle to come up with a show. And it's brilliant. I mean, it's his third show. He's got 3 of them. And he interviews people all over the country. And then when you start to get a reputation of, you're going to interview people, you're going to know what the thing is, then they find you. Then
create
a
following.
Yeah. And so we need to find something for you, man. We need to find a podcast for you that you can do because you've got a following. You've got a big following here in the beach.
This is not my following. Trust me. These people are like, who's that guy? Why does he always wear that shirt?
Everybody's coming up and saying, look at that. He's on the show. They're making the show. The ratings are going up. The listeners are going down. The ratings are going up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we're sitting. This is something else that folks here have to know. This business behind us. I don't even know the guy's name. Do you know the guy's name? Carmine. He owns the Tequila Sunrise or whatever the hell that is.
He owns the entire parcel.
He owns the whole thing. Well, if somebody, let's say a tourist is down here and they accidentally park their car there because they have no clue, he comes out yelling like a madman at the people, and that's a great way to get business.
He's got a mouth on him like a long short.
Oh yeah, we've seen videos of him on YouTube.
Like a dock worker.
Yeah. So we're hoping to catch him on video behind us because that would be pretty cool. So the next few weeks,
down for their $10.
I asked for an interview. They declined.
Oh, you did go over there? Wow. What's got into you getting so aggressive like that?
How many 4-letter words did he use to say no? How many 4-letter words did she use to say no?
I can't even get her to make a sales
There's no
call.
discrimination over there. Trust me.
So what if you had a chance to do a show? What would your show be?
I don't know. It could be any number of things. People would want to hear about learning how to ride motorcycles. I mean, I don't know.
Right.
We
could get Harley as a sponsor or somebody else as a sponsor.
Wouldn't that be great?
Yeah.
The motor company in Milwaukee.
I'm sure they've got one.
From.
I'm sure they've got a sponsor.
They might.
Or they've got a podcast.
You never know. Golf. Golf is always a good thing.
That's not really niche.
You
Everyone's
can bring your bulldog back on the show.
That's
and
right.
See how she's developed into a well-heeled, obedient bulldog.
I wonder how a dog training podcast would go. It'd be hard to explain that on the radio without the Facebook, right?
Yeah, it could be. You need
to have
visual
for that.
Otherwise, people just think you're,
Well, crap, man, you got nothing.
You got nothing. I got nothing.
You're good at a co-host, though. If something never happens to me or Kim, man, you got that chair locked in.
Oh, well, yeah, that's a matter of opinion.
All right, well.
This guy's a bigger, okay, we got it.
Thank you for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Appreciate it, Keran.
It's great.
Big hand for our guests, everybody.
Hey,
People are turning around like, what in the world
for
are
that
these
large
people doing
round
with
of
their
indifference.
microphones?
That was great. That was good. All right. Thanks.
Thank you for coming on.
Thank you. Well, boy, you're just chatty Cathy today.
Well, they are packing in the crowd here.
I know. Well, it's T-minus like nothing and getting ready to get started.
We were talking about the Podfest
Oh yeah.
Podfest last 2 days in Orlando. Last year was 500 people came. Yesterday and Thursday and today. It's going on again today, but I couldn't miss.
How
this
many?
show. 1,000 people.
Wow.
1,000 people.
Good for them.
One of the keynotes, let's see, John Lee Dumas was the first keynote, and probably nobody watching or listening even knows what that name is, but he's a big podcasting star. He's making 6 figures now.
Wow.
He interviews.
How about Chad?
Chad? Does he have a podcast?
No, the
You're
6
changing
figures.
the subject on me. Wow, yeah, he's money, man. He's got big money. We need to stay close to him.
Yeah.
Maybe get a sponsorship or two. Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be nice to see him down here.
Yeah.
He'd be a good guest.
He
was a little
he's
nervous.
Probably, yeah.
I can't believe people sit down here and they get nervous.
And
Why?
then they just, it's very, their answers
Right. They're
are-
so talky over here behind the screen and behind the microphones when you can't see anything. And, you know, and then they sit down and they're like, "Whoa. Wait, I'm on?"
All right. Well,
I think we might need to stay on a little overtime for the catch a little bit of the parade.
So
we
you're
can
gonna-
show some of the parade back and behind us. Yeah.
is
So-
there any rules against that?
What, broadcasting the
Broadcasting the
parade?
parade?
I don't know. I feel like what, Kathy Lee and somebody else. Who does the
Hoda.
parade? Do they do the parade?
Yeah.
We could
Who do
pretend
you
this
want
is
to
our.
be?
We could
You
shut
want to
up.
be Kathy Lee or Hoda?
We could pretend this is like our little Macy's Day Parade that you're never going to.
Yeah, I want to go to that.
Well, we've had a lot of action right here.
There is a lot of activity going on down here.
What I want to do after this is go down to the Shrimp Festival with the hedgehog and
Do some
talk to
interview.
some people that are at the booths out there and selling some things and make it like a follow-up show, a Shrimp Festival follow-up show. You know, this is cool what Scott and Jackie have set up here.
Yeah, they
got
have
all
a
their
great.
friends.
Yep.
They got chairs out here.
I don't know why they invited us, but we're
Yeah.
glad they did.
Yeah, it's been very
And we're
nice.
grateful.
And we know nobody's listening or watching because they're all at the parade right now.
Well, I think they're all watching here.
Yeah.
Everybody that listens is here.
You know, one of the panels that I went to yesterday was about doing live events. And this podcast, if I'm boring you folks, just turn the channel or something like that. But I'm just fascinated with the whole podcasting thing because I think we could be rich here. We could be rich at it. We could transform local radio. We could just change the face of local radio.
Somebody else just came up to me and asked me what channel we're on. And
See
so
that?
I went
Dang
through
it.
the.
I have cards here.
My
for
mother
people.
handed one out to her.
One?
Yes.
I bought 500 of them.
Well, just one person asked.
So the biggest question we get is what frequency are you on? But check
Yeah.
this out. I did some
Yes.
research. You can buy a Part 15 AM transmitter and not violate the FCC's regulation of being called a pirate radio station. You can buy a Part 15 AM radio station or AM transmitter, and it will transmit within a mile or two from the location. So when we get back to table 23, it will go out a mile or two as long as it doesn't interfere with any, like whoever.
Oh, so
listens.
only people who are within a mile of where we are can
Well,
listen.
where do you think the people that are asking are from?
Well,
They're from the
all of
beach, right?
No, all of the people that you just had on,
How old
Chad
were
and
they?
his they're
Chad asked what channel you can listen on?
no.
They know how to download an
God,
app. I'm
all
talking
right.
about the old fogies who don't know how to download a podcast app. Most
All right.
people that don't know how to download a podcast app are 50 and over, right? What is our
Probably.
demo anyway? I have no clue what our demo is. Do we have a demo?
We don't.
We don't even sell ads, so who cares?
0 to
I
100.
think we're just doing this to keep our relationship close, our marriage close, because this is the most
This
talking.
is all about you.
This is the most talking that we do to each other ever.
Well, you're a deaf mute during the week.
But how about last
then-
night when you come into the house after picking up your mom at 1 o'clock in the morning? You
The
can't stop the dogs from
dogs.
barking.
Yeah, the one dog. I mean, my mom couldn't even look at the dog. The dog was going nuts. Jilly's dog.
So listen, next week I don't think we're going to wait for the parade because it's getting late already.
It
We're
is.
going
and it's
over.
hot.
It is hot. We're sitting out in the
It's
sun. You
nice.
burn. I don't mind the sun, but you burn. So listen, folks, if you're coming down to the beach, you're crap out of luck because there's no way you're getting on the beach unless you figure out where to park on the other side of the bridge. It's closed until 12 o'clock. The parade's going to start whenever the parade starts, and it's going to go until, I think it goes until 11:30-ish.
Yeah.
Then they open the bridge back up at 12. So we're going to go down the Peach Time out and hang out with our friends down there. And then we're going to take some interviews of the folks at the Shrimp Festival.
Okay.
Next weekend, we'll be back at Table 23 to interview Kevin Ruwane's coming down. Kevin has announced that he's running for county commissioner, which is
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
Be awesome for him to be county commissioner. And I think we might have Joe Orlandini on next week.
Oh,
He's got
nice.
some things in brewing in the hopper.
He hasn't been on in a while.
I know he's been hiding. We've had his wife on a couple times. And so that's going to be next week at 9 o'clock. And remember, folks, if you think you're a podcaster, if you have something that you love to do, that you love to talk about, we can help you with that.
Give us
because
a call.
it's great. We're going to do like a podcasting meetup, dear. Now they have, is that Roger coming down the street? Now in Tampa, they have this meetup group that started, I don't know, 5 years ago. We started with 3 people. They have over 100 people that come once a month now, all the time. That's not Roger. It's
all
a
right,
Roger
dear.
lookalike.
Let's wrap it up, and then you
All
can
right.
always rebroadcast once the
All right,
parade
stop
starts
whining,
going.
all right?
Oh, my
Thank
God,
you,
the guy
everybody.
just
We
did a kick.
appreciate you guys watching and hanging on for all 4 of you that were out there. We'll see you again next week live from Table 23 at Pete's Timeout. Thanks to John and Debbie. We'll see you around the corner.
Bye-bye.